In the heart of ancient Britain, long before it became a land united under a single banner, there was a patchwork of tribes, each with its own culture, traditions, and ambitions. Among them lay the Blacklands, a region inhabited by the Iron Age Britons who played a pivotal role during the Roman expansion into the British Isles. Today, we delve into the intricate interplay between these ancient tribes and the mighty Roman Empire, exploring how a select few Britons, instead of resisting, welcomed their invaders. Picture the Iron Age landscape of Blacklands, a tapestry of rolling hills, dense forests, and sprawling settlements enclosed by formidable ditches and ramparts. The tribes here were skilled in metalwork, agriculture, and trade, living close to the land and relying heavily on its bounty. Yet, their societies were more than mere subsistence. They thrived on complex social structures led by chieftains and elders. It was during this period, around 43 AD, that these tribes first encountered the might of Rome, under the command of Emperor Claudius. The Romans, renowned for their military prowess and strategic acumen, saw Britain as both a military conquest and a land of economic opportunity, rich with resources such as tin, iron, and fertile land. However, conquest was never solely about force. It was as much about diplomacy and alliances. The Romans encountered various tribes ranging from fierce resistance to cautious diplomacy. Among them were the Catuveiani, the Trinovantes, and the Iceni, whose methods of dealing with the Romans varied greatly. Certain tribes, recognizing the Romans' military superiority and the potential benefits of Roman alliances, decided to welcome these new arrivals. This decision was far from simple. It was a complex calculus of survival, power, and prosperity. The collaboration with Rome allowed these tribes access to advanced technologies, such as improved agricultural techniques, better fortifications, and most importantly, trade. In return, they provided the Romans with food supplies, local intelligence, and a foothold in a foreign land. That was often harsh and unpredictable. One notable example was the Trinovantes, who joined forces with the Romans to overthrow their rivals, the Catuveiani, who were occupying their territory. This alliance brought the Trinovantes favor and protection from their powerful Roman partners. Yet, while some embraced the Roman way, others viewed these actions with disdain, seeing it as a betrayal of the Celtic way of life and autonomy. Moreover, the Romans were adept at integrating local leaders into their administrative frameworks. By recognizing and respecting local hierarchies, they often left tribal leaders in place, now as client kings who ruled under Roman auspices. This strategic move not only pacified potentially rebellious regions, but also ensured a smooth transition of power and influence. The transition from resistance to acceptance was not a peaceful process. Many native Britons rebelled against Roman rule, most famously led by the warrior queen Boudicca. Her revolt, though ultimately unsuccessful, demonstrated the deep-seated resentment that lingered among the tribes and the fierce desire to reclaim their sovereignty. As time went on, the Blacklands and its people began to change under Roman influence. Roads and infrastructure sprang up, connecting once isolated communities and facilitating trade and the spread of Roman culture. The introduction of Roman villas and baths brought a new way of life, blending Roman sophistication with Celtic tradition. This merging of cultures, often referred to as Romano-British, laid the foundation for a new era. Yet, with the gradual acceptance of Roman ways, something distinctly British emerged. A culture that was resilient, adaptive, and distinctly proud of its heritage. As the Roman Empire eventually began its slow withdrawal from Britain in the early 5th century, what they left behind was a land that had transformed. In conclusion, the story of the Blacklands is one of complexity and nuance, showcasing a fluid interplay between invader and native, conqueror and ally. The Iron Age Britons, who welcomed the first Romans, navigated a period of profound change with pragmatism and vision. Their legacy is not one of mere submission, but of adaptation and growth, illustrating how the forces of history often compel societies to embrace the new while cherishing what remains of the old. As we reflect on this chapter of history, we are reminded that the past is not a static tableau. It is a dynamic story of survival and transformation.